Good morning, HMCers. Today I have 3 different things that I wanted to talk to you about. The first one, I just want to get out of the way real quick, is that I'm starting up a new lecture series talking about a bunch of really interesting emerging technologies. This is kind of born out of a class I was teaching at Cal Poly Pomona in the architecture department. So to give you a few examples of topics, we're going to be talking about drones, autonomous vehicles, robotics, all the way through like blockchain, things like that. And these are very wide-ranging topics. They all have to do with technology, but again, they all have to do with things that are relatively new, but are greatly affecting our profession. And so I'm gonna cover the gamut, but then really hone in on how it's affecting what we do here at HMC. The very first one is gonna be on drones. And there's a lot going on with UAV drones out there, unmanned aerial vehicles. And I think it's a really interesting topic because we've got these things out there that are, again, doing all kinds of things that we kind of didn't necessarily foresee. They started out military based, and now you can get them like this big. There's drone swarms, they can build things, they can film things, they can build 3D models. My goal is to arm you with information so that when you're out talking to clients, when you're out there speaking with other professionals, that number one, you know what you're talking about, and number two, that you add value to the conversation. I want to be a resource for you, so that's really what this lecture series is about. I hope to see you there. So the next thing that I want to talk to you guys about is the digital transformation mantra of digital practice at HMC. That's our goal, digital transformation here. And the reason I bring it up right now is because you're going to be seeing in my next updates that are coming out very soon that we're going to be changing a lot of behind the scenes things that are going to affect everybody who works on the Revit models and the digital side of things day to day. So you're going to see things like new template, new content management, new common detail library, new BIM execution plans, new LOD matrix. There's all these different things that we're going to be releasing into the wild. And so that means new standards for all of these things. And so usually when I talk about these things with different groups of people throughout our offices, they're nodding their heads in agreement. Yeah, we got to do this, we got to do this. When the rubber meets the road, that is when things are actually going to get difficult. And I want to point that out here because we need to start getting ready for that to come. So really what we're talking about is not just a technology shift. We're actually talking about an operation shift, and we're talking about a cultural shift. The reason I bring this up is because while change is essential and change is good, we're doing all these things for the right reasons. We're doing these things to be competitive, to automate things, to get faster. I'm going to be asking everybody to really help us get this launched correctly so that it has the most effective use within the practice that we have here at HMC. So just to throw it out there, I've talked about this before, but if we sacrifice the future of these models now so that we have some short-term gain by breaking something so that it just shows what we want right now, but that really sacrifices the future potential of these models, that is not going to fly. That's the kind of thing where we really have to be diligent. We really have to raise our hands and ask questions if we don't understand the new way of doing something, because, and let's be honest, there will be new ways of doing things. There's way smarter ways of doing things that we just haven't been doing here for a long time. We are putting a whole new support structure in place for this to happen effectively and quickly. So I'm excited about all that, but just also putting the message out there. It's going to be hard. Let's acknowledge that it's going to be hard. Let's work through it together so that we can have the best possible future with all these new tools and basically our backbone for the work that we deliver to all of our clients in all of the different projects that we work on. All right, the last thing that I wanted to talk about, recently we got to go photograph a project that was just delivered to the client at Golden West College in Huntington Beach. It was a project that I was one of the designers on, so it's particularly meaningful to me. I'm super excited to kind of show it off, and showing off not the photography side, although that is going to be spectacular once we get those pictures back. Can't wait for you to see them. This is something that we did. It's kind of a new-ish technology. It's been heavily leveraged in the real estate world, but it's called Matterport. And what Matterport is basically a 3D scan, and a specialized camera takes a series of pictures in kind of panoramic style and then builds 3D models with texture maps applied to them. So what does that mean for us, and why would we do it? Well, for instance, right here, I can actually go into the spaces now after it's been photographed with the Matterport, and we can tour those spaces. And so it's not dissimilar from the iPano kind of interior panoramic images that we've done before, except this is actually 3D, and we can walk through it. This is something that we're looking at doing on projects in the future as we photograph them, is doing this process. And what's really cool about it, again, is that you can actually walk through the spaces, and it even gives you kind of the ability to perceive the depth. You can obviously pull it up full screen, and your clients, you could just send them a link on the web. This is just happening inside the web browser. So you could send somebody a link if you wanted them to tour one of our buildings, and they have the ability to kind of go wherever they want. So you can see here, like this is my baby right here, this stair. I can actually go up the stairs because we scanned all of this different spaces when we were there. Now, we didn't scan the whole building, but we did scan what we felt like was enough of it, because logistics are a little tough with this kind of a thing. You actually have to scan, every 10 feet or so, and then stitch all these back together. You can't have any people in them, because if the people are moving around, you could imagine as it's capturing the scene and somebody's walking through it, it's just gonna build like this weird blob of a person, and we don't want that, obviously. So we want these to be really clean models of our buildings. But you can see how you can actually tour the space, and it even gives you this kind of little dollhouse right here. If I tap the dollhouse button, you can see the entire extent of the areas that were scanned. And there is also like a floor plan view. So, if I wanted to go visit this lab right here, I can jump right into the lab. Like, how cool is this, right? So I'm gonna put the link to this in the description below the video. I hope that you'll take some time to explore it and check out one of the projects that we've recently delivered to a client. They're extremely thrilled. It's been a fantastic project to work on. Hats off to the Ontario 3 higher ed practice team who made this project a reality along with the clients. Just such a fantastic process and project to go through over the last few years. It's been a thrill. It's really exciting, not only technology, but it really shows off what we can do as architects. And I'm excited to push this farther down the road on future projects as well. So that's it for today. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, work smarter, not harder, and go get things done. See ya.